fantastic for Optic. But I don't think we've seen that approach carried across to the other maps we've now seen.
And on the other side, I don't really have much worry with DRX. When I look at them, safe pair of hands, they're playing a great game so far. I think Doug did allude to it on the desk, though, that there hasn't been too much of a direct challenge of someone of similar caliber. So they've just held their own, and it's been very impressive. But we are into the game, so DRX get to set the tone on the attacking side, and of course, on the other, it will be Optic trying to hold them back. So already, where is your mind going to? We've got this map in front of us. We've got ASCENT now presented. I think this map pool does lean quite nicely towards DRX for me.
I tend to agree with that. I mean, statistically, you look at ASCENT and there are just some outrageous numbers. I know Doug or Baller, whoever's taking credit for that stat, this is actually one of their best maps for converting first bloods. It sits at around 90%.
That's ridiculous.
So for them to start off with, I mean, last time it was Buzz and Mako, really. I mean, between the two of them, they found 10. So that's something I've definitely got my eye on here, and how well Optic can kind of mitigate that. There's Buzz here. And again, presence noted on the back of the knife, but no adjustment made just yet. DRX kind of poised towards mid right now.
But they've taken a lot of space. You've got a little bit of B main lean, you've got now a little bit of contact on short, and you've got that mid crunch. So Optic have already kind of decided what they want to do with this, to the extent that they're sitting deep in towards CT. Turret's going to take the contact with the cross, if anything, and they have to respect this. I don't want to see them kind of sit halfway between this approach that they've gone for. DRX are going to have this site. It's going to be a full retake.
Oh. A little bit of trade-off with damage, actually. DRX coming out the worst end of that.
Planted.
To get themselves in, but everybody except Buzz on site here, so look for him really to slow down this retake from Optic.
Yeah, and while that smoke's up, he has to respect it, allow them through, and they've got to make the most of this now. Bit of a trade out, but the site now being contested. Victor holds the ground, and Ye delivers a bullet. It's Zest gone, and then finally Buzz can make his appearance. The side of the back of the site is still Stax, and Victor has to close the gap. A little bit of a pre-fire, and he actually eliminates Stax pretty cleanly. The follow-up, the timing. Oh, it's a TP away. He doesn't know. Victor doesn't know how far that is. That could be just around the corner, but he's going to have to go for it. Victor at least gets it to halfway, and he's not going to stop. Buzz, oh, the jump peak's got it done. DRX, get things started.
Nice try from Victor, though. Again, I'm not sure if that was just an over-calculation there from Buzz. I expected he was going to land that first shot, but it was almost like the panic button was hit, and I mean, Victor had a chance to even stick that all the way through, I feel, with Buzz walking back through B main. Interesting to see here, and again, it's not often with this much freedom on the way in. The fact that everybody from DRX commits to site, it does make it feels a little awkward, because Optic haven't burnt up an awful lot of utility. I mean, throughout that round, it if it made an awful lot of impact here. They just tried to play trades on the way back in, but conversion there from DRX and the pistol.
It's not a completely worthless purchase coming back in from Optic. A little bit scattered through.
Yeah, he's got a Marshal. It's always doable.
The pop flash is lovely. They couldn't actually make anything of it, but it was a really nice intention. And again. Oh, that's...
They're rewarded for it, well.
That's perfect. Zest going to be found, and as I said, that follow-up, nice little underhand, and he's not relenting really here. RB going to be put to work. Might get closed in on. Yeah, Marv's found it. Beautiful danger. Tries to overextend to maybe get the weapon back into hand, but Mako, had to be policing that.
And this is the sort of thing I've got my eye on. This adjustment back to Omen kind of allows Optic to set up a few more little trap plays to find these first bloods. The pop flash, obviously the paranoia as well to set these things up. And if they're rewarded for it like this in the buy rounds, it could be something Optic try and lean on a little heavier.
The fact that they've got Ye here, crashies isn't far either, so they had support the whole time. And this is perfect work. They've just fallen away a little bit further now. Going to make them work for their dinner if they still want a chance at this. But Ye's got to be careful. Big reveal. Crashies can do so much now. Chip damage galore. Sends out one more stray. Tries to hope it lands. Buzz, though, still keeps his nerves. Got a 2v2, but look at the HP on Buzz. It's super feasible, even with just these pistols. Marco's desperate for that plant to go down.
All the way down. FNS does a ton of damage there, but Marco good for the second onto crashies. And I mean, it was a close one. It came down. Look at the HP levels here, 8 and 20, and Optic doing, I mean, fighting to the death for A main there, and rewarded for it.
I just want to see these pop flashes again. So nicely done.
So just see after first, I think DRX almost thinking, yeah, they failed on the first. They're not going to try the exact same thing again.
Surely not. North Americans and just being smoke criminals. It's in the blood, I swear. They're too good at it. What's the purchase looking like for DRX now coming back in? Because obviously that's really disrupted having a little bit more weight behind this. Gonna have to sit down on maybe Stingers, Spectres, and yeah, just Sheriff here and there. So far from perfect, but the pace is pretty impressive, and it's gonna force Optic to be tucked back site. 2 of them in Boathouse right now. This is gonna be curious to see if they find impact. And speaking of, crashies straight through the wall finds Buzz. So they know at least one's around. How much does Stax know? 2. He knows both players are here, and RB's just gonna put himself at the front of this one. Still gonna need to clear out FNS, who's holding his own. Good for 1, good for 2, and a 3rd for FNS. There's Mako. Undesirable scenario now. Spike left so far away and the cross looking so deadly. But he is at least well equipped with the rifle. And Ye is watching this. Eagle-eyed vision. The first steps being made, you can see the temptation to peek. He's got the angle and he's got FNS's back.
Shout out Marved as well. He throws up a one-way for obviously the approach onto site. Basically, enabling crashies and Ye to at least, FNS to put up a fight here, but then the paranoia here is huge from Marved. Great work from him. All the way from the spawn, by the way. They're just perfectly lined up.
I didn't even see where it came from. I just saw that it caught the Skye on the way down. So Stax had not much to do in that. And he was like half committed already down from Catwalk. So at 2-1. I'm still not sure what optic this is yet. I'm liking it. It's proactive. We've seen some really nice looks so far. I just don't know how you can determine which optic it is so early in the game, so we have to keep that in our minds. But already the buy back in from DRX, so they'll be just fine here.
We'll slow it down a little bit here. Obviously, the previous was just to convert some of these SMGs that scraps carried through from the previous round. But yeah, happy to greet them this time. And previously, they had just been closing this market door with only 2 members. Hold down the fort on B. Actually, Mako going to spot across. Actually, pull out the dash from Ye. Didn't want to get caught off in pizza there. And DRX just going through the motions once again. This checklist in the early round. See if there's any adjustment here. Actually, Victor a little antsy on short.
I mean, they're feeling the pressure in mid. The temptation to try and work in from short is going to be beckoning the whole time for Victor. And investing already, I think, 1 flash towards this. It was probably what he used to just swing there. But Buzz has taken the space right back. So again, that slow build here from DRX. It is step by step, this plan. There is no rush to it just yet, but 30 seconds, they do need to pick up the pace now.
30 seconds left.
And Victor will be revealed here. He's getting a lot of information on the back of this. Suppressed with that knife. And happy to give it up. DRX will find themselves some safety on site. Spike will be planted.
Look at those additional factors. Who's catching the flank? Is anyone trying to turn that for the other side?
Divide, actually.
Yeah.
There's some pockets on both sides to play here, Lauren.
Let's see how that works out. First glimpse through. Marco's still controlling this, and that's so many players just locked out on short at the moment. They need to make a move now. There it is. First player to go in, and actually, Victor finds success. Yes, it was traded, but still to have the players on the site now, this puts a lot of pressure back towards DRX, who are not as clean as they like right now, but there's Stax. Oh, it's an uncharacteristic miss. Denied at least on the spike. Zest going to control FNS. The shutdown comes in, but it got a little dicey at the end there.
Really did. DRX happy to let the clock run down, and even with the information on the win, I mean, Optic make the right decision there. They have to back up. Victor not really in a position to even challenge, do much damage before DRX are allowed safe passage through short. Actually, a fantastic setup as well. This Cosmic Divide, actually, the way that RB plays off this one, I think it may be off screen, but he must catch a kill somewhere, allowing him to actually wrap back into heaven. I think the main focal point there for Optic was coming back through door, so really good angle. I mean, to set up that crossfire from main. Deadly in the post plant.
A little bit of a walkout on B main. So DRX on their checklist, of course, does take time to build into what they want to do, so it will give a moment of opportunity for Ye. However, they seem all too aware. Stack's going to keep him checked.
It's actually crazy how shallow this flash is. Yep. They are literally reading exactly what Optic are going to try and do in this round.
Yeah, to the second. And that's going to just have to force Ye back. He can't really utilize that anymore. He won't have that little bit of an edge you might need. As already, once again, DRX clearing through middle. Last time we did see that there was, FNS and Ye were kind of like playing around with this a little bit more proactive, but just trying to keep their heads down here, obviously working with substantially less in the weaponry front.
This is it, almost a carbon copy of other rounds, but I mean, this is what the expectation for DRX is. This default, this strength in default that they have, I mean, it's cemented, and the protocols are so good. in terms of what Optic are going to, sorry, in terms of what DRX are going to kind of set up early on. Yeah, actually going to find RB here. Actually got the Blade Storm in hand as well, so potential to do a little more damage. Mako feeling a little exposed here. A ton of damage onto Marved, but no kill.
It looked like that was on the money, but again, look at the amount of investment now coming down. We're going to have the Seekers coming through, and then the push comes in. Mako just about closing in on FNS as Jett is still waiting at the back of the site. The surprise waiting to be revealed. He needs some help, he needs some support. He needs a couple more bodies, or maybe he doesn't. The flash is great! And the delivery from Jett is unbelievable. Can't make it out in time, but 8 seconds. Time is of the essence, and Victor, can you disrupt anything? He spots one. He's got a second to play with, but the tag's all he got. And now Mako gets freedom on the site, and he controls the push through. As DRX, you're right, it is that almost mechanical approach. There is a game plan here, and they are executing it to a T.
No. So it's not as if they're lost for kind of an answer to anything they're shown, and that's the worry, really. I mean, whether or not the answer is seeing what we saw... was it round 2 when they were pop flashing out A main? These sorts of things to try and find a first blood, because there are isolated members of DRX in this default. It's just isolating that kill.
Yeah, it's easier said than done. You've seen a couple of chances come through, and I do want to see them try and revert back to finding those moments. But again, easier said than done for a lot of these, because that default is so well considered. Even just that flash that caught Jett, right? That just consideration of timing is so well prepared from DRX. So as it stands, we go back through, and the rifles have come back into play for Optic. But again, expect similar scenes, but I want to see if Optic are ready to try and fight this. It looks like they've gone for a bit more attention towards middle. Victor's actually pulled up towards short this time. They could be swinging for a crunch on this. You've got 2 players very present towards top mid. Crashies going to get a little bit of information off the back. Notes one on short, and I think DRX now get the bigger picture of what's going on, just off the back of 2 players now being noted.
And potential, I mean, if the finances support it, once we get the operator online for Jett, that might be a point we see Optic adjust and at least try and prevent this early control. We're giving up mid almost for free here. FNS playing very deep in B main. He's got a lot of members of DRX on the other side of this. He's isolated.
As soon as you heard that many guns taking down that die, like, oh dear, I'm not looking so likely. And DRX just deathballing this flash, gets eaten, crashies, couldn't see a thing. And DRX instantly have an answer. They get contact and pressure through middle. They swing into this beautiful side hit towards B. They clear the early aggression from FNS. The timing was great for them in that regard. And now they've got full side control. The last 2 players, you can't even have a look in at this one. It's probably a save from the word go. But again, let's talk about then the kind of layers to what we're seeing from DRX, because we wanted to see a little bit more proactive approach from Optic, which they kind of did, right? A little bit more attentive towards middle, ready for the contact swing. And then DRX instantly had that red and went straight into that full sight hit.
Like I said, it's almost a similar approach to most of these rounds for Optic. I mean, Victor's not challenging, sure, but at least he's posted up deep enough. Like I said, without getting the operator online for Jett, it's pretty difficult to feel comfortable about, you know, even challenging mid, because you know it's going to be 3, potentially 4 members of DRX, 2 from tiles, potentially 2 top mid. It's usually Buzz and Zest up there kind of controlling, but it almost seems illogical to allow DRX all this space, because we know that they can just get suffocated. Optic don't really have an opportunity to even take a favorable engagement. And that's with 2 people playing in market.
And does this, kind of what we've seen so far, kind of echo back to what... I think it worried me, at least, when I saw this map coming out into choice, because I think it's one of the more robust ones for DRX. I think this is one where it really signifies and kind of amplifies what they're extremely good at.
The other stat that stands out on ASCENT is just how good they are converting post plants. It's close to 95%, which is just insane.
Sorry.
So when we talk about Optic kind of challenging for these first bloods and kind of giving up this territory for free, we know how reliant DRX are and how well choreographed they are in terms of these executes. And look at this composition as well. They effectively have 3 initiators. With the utility they have at Mako's disposal, it makes it so difficult to hold on when you allow DRX all this space to get close enough to one of these sites.
Maybe a little bit of a test and trial here in this half-buy. A couple of rifles still remain, and just an execution. Again, that slow linger through middle. It's just not working for Victor right now. Jett is there by his side. That's what they wanted. But already to lose a player, and it just still, this trade out in middle is looking pretty okay for DRX. They still have options, and it's early enough that they can re-explore any of these areas.
It's to a 3v3 now, and Jett actually going to tuck himself into wine. The rest of DRX making their way towards A site. 2 members of Optic actually still posted up in pizza here. Again, going to want to see a rotation coming out preemptively here. Whether or not Ye's even going to hold an active angle or wait for the plant to come through. See how diligent DRX here on the clearance.
Ye's been here before. Roll your mind back a couple of rounds.
Well, Marved's played here in previous series as well.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, suddenly there's a panic. Still going to take one with him, so he keeps it to a 2v2. Yeah, he always seems good for it. Or desperately trying to be closed. As crashies not going to quite catch the cross, but the spike will go down, and DRX, let's see how they look in those post plants.
They've got a lockdown from A main here. This could force DRX all the way back into heaven. You can see the adjustment already. RB taking
RB's
the
already
space,
off.
Lauren.
This is so smart. I actually love the fact that they're reading into the potential of this. Stax is just going to keep himself present on the side, forced away. crashies investing in this drastically, but RB has been so proactive and doing this so early. This is brutal for crashies to handle, but he has to do it. FNS is by his side, going to cross towards the site, and great work from crashies there. Nice play from Optic coming back in that 2v2. Considering the purchase was far from perfect, they really made that work.
I think DRX do read into that. It's the Hunter's Fury, I think, that probably catch them off guard. The fact that they get the kill there makes it a lot easier on the way back in, but so many options for Optic Gaming there on that retake, and well played by both of them. Yeah, just seeing RB, even if he had the dash there, here's the Hunter's Fury come through. There's a chance he can actually close the distance here on crashies. But the response is there. 5-2 the scoreline now. This is what we talked about. Ye now with the operator in hand. This could be the turning point. But I'm seeing just Ye towards mid here. Gives me the impression he's maybe not going to challenge too deep. Actually an adjustment here from DRX. Got 4 outside B main. It's just Zest to control top mid.
Let's see how this looks towards mid. Okay.
Spot the barrel.
You can see the comm instantly being made from Ye as well. They know what's up. They're actually kind of creeping mid here, and the reveal, he holds it. He's quicker than Mako on this. Support invested of the utility coming through to keep Ye safe, to just find a new angle for a second. No trade coming through for DRX at all. Lovely opening work for Optic. Take that every day of the week.
That's huge as well that it's Mako. And it really, really strips away their ability to formulate some kind of execute here. So hoping DRX aren't able to equalize. Find a return kill untraded here. Immediately though, yeah, adjusted. Ooh, actually a swing and a miss there.
Yeah, a little unlike him in that, but DRX now get an opportunity and they're going to take it with both hands. FNS is waiting for anyone to be
He's got the lockdown.
Noted here, and you're absolutely
he wants to allow
right.
them on.
There it is. Lockdown now comes through. Marv going to try and play from the side, but a little gremlin in the corner, and Marv's doing so well. Dips into the smoke and he's just patrolling it. But Stax and Zest out of nowhere. Still finding value, but it's only Stax. How much more can he do in a 1v2? He's got crashies to handle, and Ye hanging around. Flash goes in. Last one came in, so now it's just the gun in his hand. He's got to bait the shot, and he does! What a peek from Stax, and now the 1v1. Crashies on the way. He's not messing around. He had to pause for a second there. Almost committed off the back, and Stax gets to slip in towards hell. Such a tough position now for Crashies to clear. Does he get given anything? Any indicators? No. He's going into this as blind as possible. Crashies trying to work this out. Tries to cover the drop. But now a noted. Stax sees it! And what an execution from Stax!
So well played to find a Red Bull clutch. The pressure onto crashies here to force him a little deeper. Isolates, basically allows the timing to come through to challenge Ye. Unfortunately, another miss from Ye with the operator there, which is rare. It's not often we're talking about that. So well played from Stax. Oh. And this was before we didn't even catch this bit.
Didn't see that. That was the 2 kills out of nowhere. And even just being able to swing Ye like that, yeah. Okay, Stax, it's going to be one of those days.
Beautifully played.
Yeah, really nice. What an instant equalizer, though, because now Optic have lost out on that op, and Ye's probably a little frustrated. You know, had a couple of opportunities, didn't land as cleanly as he'd like.
That was the first blood that was untraded for, what, 20, 30 seconds. So there was time for Optic to adjust there. They actually sent 3 towards A site, so they had the read on where DRX were going to lean after losing Mako. And they're able to flip that back.
Look how deep they're holding this on this weird buy.
Yeah.
A lot of respect given over to, one, the Blade Storm coming out for Ye, and just that they know that Optic do like to go exploring a little more in these rounds. So DRX very well prepared coming back into this. It seems like they have a real hammered down game plan, but I do want to see where they eventually end on, because there's still a lot of presence towards short here from Optic.
Scanning ahead.
Zest as well get a bit of information on the back of the recon. Stax still here, just in case there's any aggression outside B. as he will deal with the turret here. And actually, even just doing that, the Cosmic Divide going to go up. It's going to sell this fake.
Oh,
They've left A site wide open for the taking.
DRX just selling them so perfectly, and yeah, now you know it. Now that penny drops, but already the site's been taken. Spike's going to go down, but Ye's not going to hold back for a moment. Still trying to do what he can, but 4 HP. The Walking Wounded at this point got to back away a little. Looking for a new opportunity, but the door's still shut. There's no quick way to capitalize on any of this momentum that they want to spring back with. And DRX should be in good post plants, and we know how strong they can be at only frenzies and sheriffs and odds and ends, and Buzz destroying them one by one. Easy work. Finally gets traded out by Victor. But then there's 4 more to go through.
Yeah, at this point, it doesn't even really matter what they're removing. In terms of the economy, Stax lurking all the way back through top mid here. He doesn't even really want to give away a kill. That's good, but it's not going to slow RB down. He should be able to escape still.
They're trying.
Yeah,
they're trying real hard. Oh, so close. We're going to get at least a swing on the corner, but I've got to say, this is one of the things that with DRX, it feels like you almost just sit back and really appreciate how they approach the game. They're one of the most, they play beautiful VALORANT, right? It's not as flash.
Rifle.
Has 4.7.
It's not a real rifle, by the way.
No?
No.
Doesn't count? Right. Makes perfect sense. Okay, so they've got to know if you're DRX. It doesn't take much of a jump to know that the op is going to be out, but the force comes through as well.
This is so great as well. Because again, we have an adjustment here from DRX.
They seem so aware of what Ye likes to do, genuinely. Now, he's going to actually keep going on this just a bit further. He's not, I doubt he's going to swing that corner, but they're all on the other side. 5 players from DRX are just around this wall. What is the plan? Are they waiting to see if Ye will push? Are they waiting to see what he's getting up?
I was going to say, drone burned up. They still have the Trailblazer.
They're so ready. Look at it. It's a firing squad waiting for Ye to push further. Testing their patience.
And this is perfect. On the back of this timeout, DRX are literally anticipating Optic challenging a little deeper.
I'm surprised that... I'm not surprised, but I'm waiting to see if anyone else explores, right? They need someone else to have a little bit of information elsewhere because they have no idea where DRX are right now. They had 1 flash contact. That's it. And that smoke going up on shore, it will pull them away. They now have to respect the middle. This is all blind. This is all blind work that they're pulling off here. Fury going to come down. Doesn't find too much.
Marved actually faked the TP
Look
there,
at this.
but RB's found so much space.
They're so ready for the rotation. The punish is unreal, and RB just straight up the guts, right up the middle of them. They're going to crunch towards A, almost negate a lot of that utility that FNS would have committed, but it's 13 seconds. There's still Marved lingering around. There's still FNS on this site. They're going to have to try and make this work, and if they go through short, they're going to be punished. FNS, he's going to put his life on the line. He can't get there. Spike goes down, and Marved waited for the moment to pull the trigger. Playing from hell, he still kept space on the site. And Optic have to find their way back in here because DRX are not in a comfortable post plant for once. Mako having to take the first contact. Ye with the pre-fire. As you can already see, Marv starting to clear through towards the site. The pinch is coming in, but the support's there. Stax has his back, and Mako does what he could, but his crash is so overwhelmed. And now the 1v2, but look at Stax's position. Pops in the flash. Buying time, toying with crashies here. Another flash comes in, and just the shoulder peek. He's just drawing seconds away as Buzz is the closer. DRX, there's something else, man.
It's actually fascinating to watch. Again, just on the back of that 1 flash. That 1 flash gives them enough tangible information, they feel, to just freeze. And look at what happens. Look how much space RB and Mako are able to find. On the back of note, it's not really aggression. No. It's literally just responding to the information they're given. It is beautiful to watch.
I feel like this is one of those games for, you know, like the thinking man sort of player who's going to sit here and just love watching DRX back on this side. Because it is quite beautiful to watch. It's very cerebral. These players are just so well versed in this. And Ye, already feeling a little shut out at the moment. He's not been given as many opportunities, as many chances to try and find that aggressive start. Flash again. Okay, they're trying to deal with this now. What's the next step to this? So they brought over another player, right? So you got Victor by his side. And they want to push this now. But waiting is that. Mako so ready. We knew the Stax has been around here. And this has been like 3 rounds worth of exploratory work. And they're still going to check. And they still find another player. You don't get away with anything against these guys.
On the other side, it's the first time we've seen the kind of push and pull from Optic. But Buzz is going to punish Marved on the way through to try and take some space back. FNS going to be feeling the heat now. Nothing other than the turret to work with here. DRX looked to collapse onto site. He's good for the first, so Zest will fall, but traded out.
There's no potential for a trade. There's nothing that crashies could have done. And now just unfavorable numbers from the word go and RB. It's brutal to watch this. It really is. Like, for Optic fans, I'm sure this is quite hard to watch. You're like, how do they find a way back in? How? Ye's had so little chance of this. That mid-control conditioned them so early that they can't explore it as much. Victor was being shut down and kind of kept back a fair amount. Nothing has felt good for them here.
Well, it's so important because Ye's the sort of player, you give him an inch, he'll take a mile, but he is given nothing here. With this control from DRX, there are so few opportunities for them to even get close to uprooting this default from DRX. And that's not a pretty scoreline as we lead into round 12 here. It's 9-2 here for DRX. And Optic, a force in the previous, again, the domino effect here, going to be carried across into the final round of the half. Two Guardians, two Spectres now, actually, with a swap out, and Marved go up for no shield and the Vandal, but gaps in the utility here. One away from the Hunter's Fury. They do have Victor's ultimate available, but whether or not this is the point now where they string together any sort of set piece to challenge here. Yay again. Looking to dig a little deeper, but it's almost a solo mission here. No support system in place for him. That's the thing that's truly been lacking. We noticed this earlier on. I was talking about actually how different it looked across two series after that opening series for Optic, but haven't seen it here at all, Lauren. No.
It's looking quite flat for Optic at the moment. Yay, still desperate for this, still trying to make an impact play, but DRX are just ready on every occasion. There is no weakness in their approach thus far, and patience once again being displayed. They're clearing everything methodically. They know that Optic are trying to find these avenues of approach, find those little bits of aggression, the slices that could work for them. They have to keep it under control. Yay, now looking for a new angle, trying to find another chance into this. It's no man's land. It's a dirty angle to play off, and Yay capitalizes. Finally gets a pick, no trade. Falls away and expects that next player to push up.
It's actually heartbreaking because Yay is so active. Initially when contact is taken, he's exploring these new angles, but DRX, like I said, the contingency is there. They have everything considered.
Like, again, Yay's, this is 3 different spots now he's playing from. He is desperately trying to be the just instigator to Optic getting one more on the board, and finally they have a little bit of success. And Zest doesn't like a single word of it, and at the back of the side is crashies. He's got to play this time out so perfectly. 9 seconds, good work. Just one more to go, and it stacks. Can't quite get it done as he's 4 seconds now. The spike's so far out of hand. Even if he gets it back here, it would just purely be damage as FNS will be the shutdown factor at the coming into this entire event. I did have Optic as potentially the final, one of the final teams, a finalist.
I had him winning.
yeah, I honestly did as well. So to see DRX's level, I think, is really quite clear as to how good these boys are playing. It's consistent, it's solid, but it's only one half. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves yet. Yes, it's Optic's map choice, which is another worrying factor, but we have to look at what's in front of us, a whole new half.
Stark contrast here already in the pistol round. DRX's intent to at least challenge mid here. The adjustment comes through, and I'll be back towards short now. There's 4 members of Optic on the other side of this smoke. No real damage coming through though. Optic will be allowed through onto site.
Rotations are in. That's a lot of players up towards heaven. You got stax just aim trading them down. 2 back to back, and I don't know how that's happened. So sharp, and it's only Marved now, and he's about. No shot! No shot! Marved almost did the unthinkable, but it was kept in check by RB. But that round was so close.
I mean, initially a total shutdown until Marved engages the famous TikTok mode once again there. I mean, what can you do against these sort of setups? And initially it's this heavy emphasis. What is that from stax? What is that? And then what is this from Marved? Of course it is. I mean, thank God. What was that, RB that found the trade there? Thank God he finds that.
Jeez. But if that's how Optic has to do it, be explosive.
No charges left.
Such a heartbreaking way to have to play. Be so, full on with the pace, trying to really close on in, and they bought into this round as much as they could.
I mean, yeah, they're almost committed at this point. Got across a Sheriff, 2 Spectres, the Marshal, the Bulldog here for Optic. Whether or not, again, initially a little bit of a little peek from RB towards mid, but not really rewarded with anything. Yeah, we'll find a tag actually. Victor down to 24 HP now. Somehow crashies has slipped the net here.
He's been noted, but he's really made big progress to get to this point. He's kind of threading the needle, and Stax has no idea where he was. Just leapt down to it. The trade did come out for Mako, but this isn't really where Optic are going.
No.
And with Buzz, though, finding contact, that kind of scrubs the plan that could have almost really pulled that fake towards the A site. You can see that at least one of the players is going to be Zest, lingering around towards CT, and yeah, just doing dirty work on him. Buzz waiting for the next player, and it's 1 by 1. And it's comfortable for DRX after one player managed to slip the net.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, with the force, doesn't really matter about the damage either, so...
Nope.
DRX going to close this one out. They find 11. Optic going to be forced now. I mean, have to save here. As I say that, Marv considering something, some level of investment here. Actually, Optic.
Forcing?
Yeah, they're going to go for the full force. It's 3 Spectres, a Sheriff, and a Bulldog. So if I'm not mistaken, pretty similar to the previous purchase here. No paranoia. Again, you, in a round like this, you look at the gaps in utility. So Optic just try and death ball somewhere. Looks as if they might opt to try and split towards A here. Test this setup here from Stax and Mako.
RB still going to find a tag on Marved as well. Gets away 76 HP, still comes out the better of that trade out. I wonder how much information he got if they can note that this purchase has come through. Yeah, you're going to lead the way. Taking over towards Tree. Stax. Go find that info.
It's
just good. It's real good. And he's got support there as well. Crash comes in. And now RB going to hear all these steps. It's kind of timing. He was tempted, I'm sure, to go for it. But there you go. Finally, the Spectres get fully noted here. So Optic looking a little bit more dangerous this round, but it is on a knife's edge, and another bit of chip. It wasn't even chip damage. Zest just took down Marved on the way out from the site and now brings it to a 4v4 in this post plant.
Well, that was just missed from the plant onto default there, but obviously Marv tagged up earlier on. Victor now trying to hold close contact here as DRX looking to swing back through. He's unnoticed just yet. He's going to find it first.
He does. He's got a little underhand flash to follow. Catches Stax. That's what the doctor ordered, and Zest, I was going to say no chance at it. I mean, the time's not really going to allow it. It's just, does he get to keep his life? You can already see FNS is on the hunt for it, and he will find him. Catches the prey, and Optic live to breathe for another round. 3 stand and bring through the weapons, which is actually pretty essential, considering how they've just been buying into these rounds. This is a deadly game they're playing. They are going to be just under the gun of the money for so long.
Yeah, Marv, 24 HP, unfortunately, just eating that one. Yeah, nice play. Again, it's difficult. You look at the round like that. I think that's Victor's only flash that he brought back into this. I was noting the paranoia was missing, but some of these dry executes aren't really sustainable. Again, with this scoreline, Optic need a couple of flawless rounds. DRX going to come back into this with an operator on the board for RB. And he's been eager to challenge mid. This time around, it's a little bit of an adjustment here. Could catch Optic off guard. Oh, was Marv spotted there? No, he crossed safely. The ping's coming through, but...
I think he saw the edge of the cave just as he backed away, so... I don't know. Does seem as though that's the case, and yay. There's a trap literally on the other side of that waiting for you to just crash the corner, but the timing's right. Eats the flash, but the pace is still trying to be picked up here by Optic. You can see them trying to make something out of this.
How deep Buzz is holding as well. That's just going to be peeking through when that smoke comes through. He's going to pick up the slack in heaven, and actually, yay. In this late lurk, actually going to find Stax.
I love that. Catching that rotation as soon as contact was made off of short, just being so hyper aware that they'd love to peel away from that B site. Beautiful work. Now, DRX still, of course, have players here. But again, Buzz is such low HP, there's a real shot at this one. Doesn't quite get what he wants on the way in either. Victor outdoes him as Mako now has to wait blind!
No way!
Takes 2 with him to the grave! And now a 3v2 is back in the realm of reality potentially here for DRX. Still rifled up, finds another, it's 2v2 and Zest ain't stopping! He wants the fight! He gets denied in the end by Marved. Time for a plant, they want the clock on their side finally.
Spike planted.
RB with an operator in hand, yay there to greet him on the other side of that smoke. Again, Optic going to close out. Again, it's actually a little bit of a misplay there. I think Mako just assumes that Zest is dead and gone at that point. He pops his smoke maybe as a diversion, but there's no swing there to save him. I mean, luckily responds with 2 kills of his own, but Real chance there to at least hold that push through. I don't know if the timing was slightly off. Unfortunately there, because DRX, no sorts of situations, you almost, even if he's baiting Zest, expect Mako to come through with the swing, but nonetheless, Optic find their 5th. DRX back down on a lesser purchase here, but Buzz does have the Tour de Force. Yeah, that popped off here. Optic are going to be paranoid about whereabouts this is, but they're going to be able to figure it out. Yeah, he actually looks to punch with the Blade Storm.
He just unleashed. Ye is not holding back anymore. Starting to feel the fury, the want to succeed, and Ye is so quick with it. That's the man who's finally been let out a little. He was shut down so hard in the first half and given a little bit of freedom. You can see what he can do. Now, it wasn't a huge purchase coming out from DRX, but there was the investment of the ult in towards it, so it's nothing to sneer at. Victor, just well, it's clean. It's what they need. Flawless. Okay, flawless round coming through, but for Optic, it's got to be this the whole way through. You have to be relentless to bring this game back in. And DRX can pull a pause right now. I'd say it's time to hit the brakes a little. Let's not let momentum start, because as much as it's such an easy throwaway word, if Optic start having that confidence we know they can have, like with this sort of stuff from Ye.
The little bait with the cloudburst there is beautiful, just to peek at from that angle. They don't re-explore it.
No. So I do wonder, but I'm looking at how this is kind of starting out, at least for now, and it looks like RB's going to be towards short, so this could be interesting. You might get that little battle between him and Ye. Let's see if he does get a little proactive on this first. Yeah, he's gone for the challenge, so RB fancying to be a bit of a difference maker, and he's found Ye, the danger man from the prior round who made that space, and that's already huge impact. He doesn't even need to stay here. You saw how quick someone like Ye was to hit those rotations, to be just present across the map. He could be up to it, but he actually wants to go back a little more here. Stax going to try and clear close. How much did he know off that? I'm not sure.
Victor actually getting tagged up. At to 5 HP now. FNS could retrieve this orb outside and get the lockdown available. Oh, but the Hunter's Fury is there. And Zest playing in market means he's got the range to find it. And FNS does retrieve it now. Well, they're even happy to give this up. The Seeker's immediately in response here, just to confirm that it's not a fake.
Just going to send this through. Zest going to try and catch him on the way in. 45 seconds, doesn't care for the Aldrin. Going to stand and hold as long as he could. A couple of seconds to it. Does get to dip away, but Optic turn their attention, and look who's waiting. Buzz. Not unnoted either. They know he's around, but he gets away with it. Still going to find one. Slows the cross. And Zest quick on the rotation. They're just trying to get back here as quick as they can, but they're so tempted to push through, but no. Holds his nerve. Waits for the rest of the side. Spike going in, but Optic with only 3 to try and hold this together.
Spike planted.
There's got to be the power play here for Optic.
Huge.
Find the first and the second as well into Mako.
FNS leading by example here, turns it, can't quite do anymore, but he already brought it back to an even scenario. And crashies, at this point, you're going to start walking smokes. All right, crashies. Let's hope this doesn't go straight. Oh, no! It's not good as Marv now watching that cross. RB seems all too aware, takes his head off. He knows that Zest can hit that cross now, so Marv has to play slightly from the back lines, but the time is so perfect for him. Takes his vision away, and he should get the round. I get a little nervous there, but it's fine. It's fine. Optic is still in this game, and DRX get held at 11 as Optic start building back in. Make me a believer in this one, Optic, please.
It's just within touching distance now, and Optic looking much more composed in terms of the game plan, and also in terms of the audible here. Yeah, I think they actually popped the null command to try and stop the Hunter's Fury from actually destroying that lockdown, but just out of range. Gets destroyed, and Optic actually find really advantageous timing there, hitting that rotation. Buzz, unfortunately, only good for the first, but Victor down to 5 HP in his own way. The play is always to trade him in that scenario.
A lot of investment to try and note that. No early pick though, and look at the pace on the other side of it. A quick piece towards B, it looks like they're going to crunch in. So Buzz, if he wants to do anything with this, has to try and hold as best he can, because there's nowhere to fall back to anymore. They've lost all the space, spams in. Yep, he's dealt with. Nice work from Optic, quick, pacey. No messing around, no fumbling. This is it. This could be the game that they could bring back here. This is going to be 8-11, I'm almost certain of it.
Last player standing.
Clean up there from Optic. Well handled, especially with DRX looking to get a little aggressive here just on the back of the Blade Storm. Trailblazer out through A main. I will say, we've got to see some sort of adjustment here from DRX. That was actually that previous round. RB found the first blood. Ye fell immediately, who's been pivotal in terms of Optic's success here on the attack. Still, they're able to recover. Again, eyes go towards RB with that operator. He's off in mid at the minute. Might even be able to greet Link once again. We talked about the importance of Optic building up some kind of financial cushion here, and they've got it. They can now kind of play some of these rounds out a little scrappier.
A little bit. It's very fine in my mind still because I see 11, right? But let's not forget that they had to force buy into this point. They had to already play such a dangerous game. I'm sure that they're happy to go to those scrappy points if they have to. And early on, RB now has to respect that. Gets denied the capability to escape quickly, so has to dip away slightly, look for a new option, and works with the Aldrone instead.
This is key, actually, because FNS only using his lockdown in that previous round on A side. He's only 2 away once again. DRX feel as if they got the right read here, sending 3 towards A site. That is where Optic are placed. Actually, there's flash through. He's going to confirm presence on short. The Aldrone as well will definitely confirm it. The Cosmic Divide actually set up ready here. They're going to try and shut the door.
Yep, there it is. Door is closed, no access to the side, boys. Not going to happen, but yeah, he doesn't care. Look at this man, straight on in. He's going to take the space, and I don't think they expect him to be here so quickly, but maybe they do. Mako's found Jay, and Victor now has to keep patrolling forward, has to find the fight, but DRX are not allowing this to happen. And it looks like a quick TP to try and get away. 13 seconds, and all on his lonesome. Marved has to try and get this fight down, but FNS. He spotted one. This could be everything. Does he wait? Does he play this patient? They've already crossed. FNS, this could be... Oh, no! Stax! Destroys the hope from that round. That could have changed all of this. As now there is 2. Crashies and Marved. You've got to make some magic out of this one, because DRX are here, and they are here in numbers. 5 flooding in towards the site. Crashies does well, finds Stax, but it's a trade, and Marv can't find it. He's desperately trying to. Sprays in. Oh! No more bullets! He has to try and deny this. He's got 6 HP, and it's over. It's done with. That's 12 for DRX.
I think he hit a headshot through the box onto RB there. He did so much damage with just those 2 bullets. It's excruciatingly close for Optic there. FNS almost in a position to completely ruin that rotation. I mean, good for potentially 2 or 3 kills there.
100%, and as if Stax is still checking that. 2 bullets, that's all he had.
Wow. DRX find map point here. Again, look at the old cycle for Optic, though. This lockdown could be available. It's looking like an all-in piece towards A site here, Lauren.
Yeah.
I think on the back of this lockdown.
100%. I think you've called it to a T. I'm waiting to see if how Marv finds impact. Can he at least shut off short a little bit, hit that late lurk coming through. They still need to land on the site, right? They still have to make this work, because there's player tucked in towards hell. You've got that presence from the upper side as well. RB ready to go. They're paying dividends. They're paying their time. And mid. No, it's been spotted. Zest. The late lurk pushing through. It's so good. He's going to punish Marv, so they've lost all vision on it. But look who's there to fill the void. Ye's gone back for this.
Oh no, Ye.
He has no idea. It's a disaster in the making. They've just been manhandled, and it puts FNS in a 1v3. Spike behind the door, and as other players say hello to RB and say goodbye to MAP1. Optic